Hey everyone, it's Brian here. Today I'm coming on for the first installment of a year-long collaboration hosted by Lesley Bromfield, and it is the year-long 3D collaboration. So a couple times each month, we collaborators are going to come up with something out of the box per se, and out of the ordinary, and come together and basically make a 3D project. And we're not going to use our Cricut machine or our Silhouette or our Scan and Cut or our Big Shots for this. We are going to use paper, chipboard, what have you, and a scoreboard and a trimmer, and basically nothing else. So this is going to be the no die cutting machine collab, basically. So what our first challenges is to build something that has to do with outer space. And that's exactly what I came up with. This is a rocket ship little treat box. It's 3D, of course, and I'm going to show you how to make this in just a moment. So this is the top. Of course, normally you would open it up at the top, but I have hot glued this shut because the top is actually going to be at the bottom. I Velcro dotted this here. One could argue that you may or may not want to have these first two flaps, or if you wanted to, you could cut them in half, which is probably what I'll do in this case. But you got this. The bottom is where the treats will be put in and where you'll dispense them. And if done right, it'll even stand up crooked, like a rocket ready to go off on the launch pad. So you may ask, how do you make this thing? How do you make this little contraption? Well, I'm going to show you how right now. So what you want to start out with is a piece of 8.5 by 11, either chipboard or really sturdy cardstock. The heavier the weight, the better in this case. And in this case, I'm using some chipboard. It's craft color on one side and matte white on the other. So I'm going to use the matte white side to be the inside in this case. But first thing we want to do is go ahead and score at our score lines. And just give me a moment, I will get my bone folder, which is here. And we're just going to score at 2 inches. Hope you all can see that. I'm sorry if you can't see it that well. 4 inches. 6 inches, and again at 8 inches. So we're going to have 4 equal parts here that are 2 inches wide, and then at the end we're going to have this 1/2 inch overhang, which is how we're going to put the box together on the side. So now we're going to turn over to the 11-inch side. We're going to score at 2.5 inches on the top part. This part, you want the part that's got the 1/2 inch overhang to go on the top of the scoreboard when you score at 2.5 inches. And the reason you want to do this is because that's where you want the top to be. This is going to be the top, and this is going to be the bottom. So we're going to flip it a 1/2 turn. So we're on the opposite side of the 11 inches. And now the 2.5 inch score is at 8.5 inches. And we're going to score here, again, at 2 inches. And this will be your bottom, or in this case, the place where you put and dispense the treats. So we're not quite done actually yet with the scoreboard. we're going to go ahead now and make a little notch, tick mark, whatever you want to call it, at 1 inch, I mean, 3 inches, 5 inches, and again at 7 inches. And this is going to give us our halfway point measurement for each of these little squares or rectangles. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and start making the triangles. That's going to be the top, bottom, wherever you want to call it, the closure part. That's going to be permanently shut. So we're going to do this like so. We're going to score. And now it's just going to be pure guesswork at where we're just going to be basically a shot in the dark at where this score mark is going to go. So we want to get it where we think it's going to head to. And I'll show you something real quick. See, it's not going to quite make it to that little corner there. So we're just going to go ahead and move it some more. Just a little bit more. And we're going to make sure it hits that corner, the bottom right corner. So basically what we're doing is going to do the same thing for all 4 of these rectangles at the top. I'm going to go ahead and put this tick mark here at 3 inches at the top. And if you need some assistance, what I do is a while back, I just drew a line with a Sharpie marker all the way down 6-inch score line for projects just like this. So I'll know where I'm going, if at all possible. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and do the same thing. I hit that bottom point exactly. That's what we want to do every time. And we're going to try to do this again. We were not going to be successful at that, so we're going to go ahead and try again. We got it. 3rd time's a charm. Going to do the same thing on these 2 as well. That was not quite the right angle. Got that. And it all is going to be really here, honestly, it's just going to be guesswork, because that's all we can do, unless you have a better idea of this. And if you do, please do share in the comment section down below if you do have a better idea of doing this. And one more time, we're going to make this triangle. And one more score mark. Actually, I'm going to do that a little bit better in just a moment. There we go. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to cut this. But first, what we're going to do is go ahead and cut the bottom, or the flap part. This is the bottom part here is where we're going to open and close the treat box. So what we want to do is go ahead and grab a pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife or a finger blade or whatever you got. I'm trying to get my finger blade here. Let's drop something. Okay, I'm back. And I'm just gonna cut this piece off here. We're not going to need this overhang piece here. Then we're just going to go ahead and cut just straight down. We're not going to try to angle cut or flare it out or in or anything like that. Cut again at that score line and cut again this score line. And I just messed up on that. I really did. For some reason don't want to let me cut that straight. Okay, there we go. And I did forget to tell you to score, not score, but to burnish all the score lines on here. And we're going to go ahead and burnish all our folds. You want to do that before you start cutting, as that'll make things easier and less time consuming. And now before we go any further, I'm going to try to figure out what... Okay, so we're going to have the... I'm going to cut... Let's see here. I'm going to like it like this. So we're going to go ahead and cut this first square and this third square at about halfway point, going across the 8.5 inch side. Just gonna do this freehand. And the reason we're doing that is so, like when you saw me earlier, I struggled getting that flap out at the that first flap. So we're going to have these two flaps are going to be half flaps, and this is going to go on here, and then we're going to flap that up like so. And then we'll put a Velcro dot there. So now we're done with that part for the moment. What I'm going to do next is go ahead and cut at all of these score lines going up. And we're going to cut off this 1/2 inch overhang on this part as well, because we're not going to need that. And now this next part is going to be very important for the process, because we're going to cut some of these on the triangles and some we're not. It's going to look complicated, but I promise you I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. So this first one here, we're going to cut the triangle into a triangle. And then this next one, we're just going to leave like this for the moment. Well, actually, we're just going to cut a little bit off of here, like so. Going to cut some of it off. We're just going to flare that out some, but not all the way, and meet at the middle here to make the triangle top. Next one is going to be the third one. Going to do the same thing as the first one. Cut the triangle into a triangle. Oops, I just cut too far in. It's okay though. I'll just take that off real quick. And this one we're going to flare out just a little bit from the center, like so, so there won't be as much bulk. And I forgot totally that I was going to make the white part the inside, so we're going to have to do all this all over again with the burnishing. At least I am. Now I'm going to show you what we're going to do next with this part here. With this part, you're going to want to fold on second and fourth triangles. You're going to want to go ahead and fold these in. These are like the parts we're going to glue onto. So fold in and fold in. No, that's the wrong way, of course. Want to fold this way. And I'll show you real quick what is the plan. So this flap and this flap are going to be glued on both sides of the triangle to these flaps here. The holders, basically. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and put on some cardstock here. I'm going to put this on here real quick with some glue stick. I got my hot glue gun ready to go. Oh, and it's ready. And I do realize now that this is backwards from when I started out, so it doesn't really matter because it's still going to be built the same way regardless. I think I just put that on upside down, so I'm going to go ahead and flip that real quick. Actually, I'm going to reapply the glue too. Make sure I got this going the right way. To be honest, I think it's sideways. I cut it the wrong way, actually. But we won't take points off for that. And we're going to go ahead and put our next piece on, which I'm going to show you real quick. The paper collection I used. This is the back of it. It's a 6.5 inch square paper pad by Kaiser Craft, which I want to say is an Australian craft company, paper company from Australia. And this this collection is very fitting for the occasion. It's called Time Machine, which could work with rocket ships too, I guess. So that's why I chose that collection. We've got all these little doodads and everything regarding to mechanics and time machines and all that stuff. And on this one, we got some cogs and gears and stuff, which looks kind of steampunkish in my opinion, which would fit right up the alley of this theme. So there is no right or wrong way on that one. And next one I'll put on now is this first one again. I mean, I could do red, white, and blue theme, saying USA and all that, especially given the fact the 4th of July is coming up, but I just want to really, honestly, I just simply wanted to be different this time in a way that my project stands out from other kinds of projects. I wanted this to be an outer space type project and not a 4th of July project, which you could easily make this into a 4th of July project if you wish to. So if you want to do that, please do go ahead. And I hope y'all are enjoying this project, because I have been spending days upon days trying to figure out what to do for this project. And to be honest, I was just going to go with a simple toilet paper roll, make that into a little rocket. I've seen several ideas for that on Pinterest. But I thought this morning I wasn't feeling that well, so I decided I'm probably not even going to work on this today. I'm going to have to delay my upload a day or so, and then I felt better this afternoon, so I'm here. I am clear and present. I am going to work on this. So I'm going to go ahead right now and so what we're going to do actually next is go ahead and get some hot glue. Or you could use just regular glue or tear and tape or score tape or whatever kind of double-sided adhesive you have. Doesn't really matter. Either way it'll work. So we got that nice and secure now. See? Not going anywhere. So now what I want to do is go ahead and start putting some hot glue on here. A dab there and a dab here. I'm going to try to at least, and I got most of it on the wrong part. And I just realized I totally forgot to put my paper on here. So we're going to go ahead and do that in just a moment. In fact, I probably just should have retracted doing this and went ahead and done that instead. But I didn't. It'll be alright though. Well, actually, might really be alright because that's not going to stay apparently. So I'm going to get some paper towels, try to wipe some of that glue off real quick. And get several actually, so I won't get burned. Or at least I'll try to, wear it down enough to where it won't be so evident. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I got these 4 pieces here. I cut these out of gold glare cardstock. You can use whatever you want. But I made the square, made these 2 inches wide by 2.5 inches tall. I've already cut 3 of them out. Now I'm going to show you real quick just how to make one of these if you want to make one yourself. So on this paper trimmer here, I got the bottom. This is going to be the bottom right hand part. So that's going to go like right here. And I got the top right hand part here on the 1 inch line. I'm going to close that up and just go ahead and run the trimmer down the track, and then that'll cut, and then do the same thing on the other side, except do the same thing on the other side. Have that bottom right hand corner looking down is going to be on the track. We're going to do the same exact thing again, and we got success. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those down real quick with some glue stick. I should have done this before I even sealed up that sealed up the box sides there. Should have done that beforehand. This is not want to stay apparently, but maybe it will now. Put on this next one too. I mean, you can go all out with this if you wanted to. I mean, this project is totally open to interpretation, in my opinion. And if you want to, please do go ahead and put your version of the project. You want to show on YouTube or Instagram, use hashtag inspired by BD Crafts More, or just tag me if you're on Instagram. Go ahead and tag me at BD Crafts More so I can see the picture, and I'll comment on it. There we go, and one more. looks like we're almost done with this project here, y'all. So let's go ahead and try to close this up again. I'm going to go ahead and do one part at a time. Just hit a little dab of glue will work. And go ahead and squeeze it down some. And I'll show you why I'm using the hot glue in just a moment, because this next part's going to be pretty difficult if you don't use hot glue. You see, when you put this part in, you're going to have trouble if you use just regular old tape or tacky glue or reptile glue or art glitter glue, Beverly Arts glue, or whatever glue you use. So that's why I'm using hot glue for this part. You could, if you wanted to, just use Velcro Dots to make this top part, but I didn't think of that till just now when I said that. So I'm going to press down just a little bit. Apply just a tiny bit of pressure on here. I got a little hot glue on my hands. It didn't burn or anything. So there we go. We're almost done, y'all. We're done gluing, and all we got to do is one more thing, and that is the Velcro Dots. So I'm going to go ahead and grab me a Velcro Dot real quick. And do like so, do like so, and do like so. I'm going to go ahead and put this on that part. You could use a magnet if you wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend it in this case because I really honestly don't know how that would work with if you wanted to stand it up. So we got the Velcro dot there. Flip the top there, and we have a rocket-shaped treat box, and it's going to even stand on the side. At least if it's empty, it will. It'll stand in an awkward position when you use that Velcro dot, which is cool in my opinion. So I hope you really enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed making this project with y'all. So if y'all do like it, please leave me a comment, a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please do subscribe. And I'll see y'all again real soon. Bye.